Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast for our predicted lineup for Nottingham Forest v Aston Villa. If you're new around here, subscribe and get involved in the comment section down below and get interactive with us. Share your teams on social media off our website. This will be your last chance to vote for us now before the deadline on Sunday for the Football Content Awards. So you know the drill. Head over to footballcontentawards.com. Best new content creator. Vote for us in that category, Up the Villa podcast. Go down to the bottom of the screen. You'll click this little button here and then vote. But another shout out that we're going to give, my favourite other Aston Villa content creator, Holy Trinity Show, have got through to the best podcast category as well. So be sure to drop them a vote as well. You can vote on each of these different categories as well. So it would just be massive for the Villa fan base, the Villa content creators who work tirelessly to bring you content. And it'd be nice to go up against the big boys. The fan channels such as, Arsenal Fan TV and all that lot. So to put Villa on the map for content creators, it'd just be huge as well. So if you can vote for both of us, that would be highly appreciated. Some of you in the comment sections keep asking us to get Pete on. We have had Pete on in the past, but it's just time-wise, isn't it? Obviously, he's in Canada, and when he does come on our show, he's on his lunch break as well. So
maybe we'll do a double awards night, eh? Awards podcast.
Tell you what, when we win, we can pick up his award. So
I've already told him I'll pick it up if he wants.
We'll pick up Pete's, but no, it's just time-wise. I think he has to do it sometimes on his lunch break and stuff. So, I'm sure when Villa pick up a little bit, we'll have him on and stuff, and we'll get him on our show as well. So, got to tell you, everybody, I've got to tell you that I got this lineup bang on last week. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to call winner stops on. So, these two are getting nowhere near my team this week because I've already picked it because I'm on a roll. So
okay, it's lovely seeing you tonight. Good night.
Yep.
So this is the team I've gone with because I won last week. But I would like Justin and Ryan to talk us through it a little bit. So Ryan, we'll start off with the back four then. So you've got to be impressed with Ashley Young this season. And it looks like Matty Cash is going to come back into the lineup as well.
Yes, with the news of Matty Cash coming back, that is what I'm lumping my standard £5 first goal scorer bet on. Old club, back at the City Ground, back from injury. So, yeah, I fancy Cashy for the first goal. But, yes, it'll be good to have him back, his energy down that side, even though Ashley Young has deputised magnificently. He has just been incredible, absolutely incredible.
Would you say Ashley Young so far is player of the season? Because I would.
Yeah, easy, all day long. I know it's only been 3 games, but it's them slide tackle to dispossess De Bruyne. I think his confidence level went up from there, and that standard hasn't dropped since, has it? What a role model to have around the club. We've got a good bunch of youngsters there coming through, and you're seeing the likes of Ashley Young, who's done it for, going on 20 years at the highest level, won honours. He's won leagues worldwide, hasn't he? Italy, he played for Man United, big games like that. Obviously, his time at Villa. And I posted a little tweet on Twitter the other day, and I've sort of merged the 2007 Ashley Young and this Ashley Young, and he looks no different. He just has not aged, and even on the pitch, he looks incredible. So, originally, I thought, when he signed his deal in the summer, I thought, 5 sub role, potentially he'd be like a 10, 15 minute specialist where he can just come on, manage that final few minutes. But he's been everything but that, hasn't he? He's been integral part to this bit of stabilising that we've had to go through after a poor start. And one of the other guys that have been impressive during this little period is Tyrone Mings. Another shout for player of the season potentially, alongside Ashley Young. I just think that was Gerrard's thinking of taking the captaincy off him. maybe has it proven right on the pitch?
That's right.
Performances on the pitch. I much prefer Tyrone Mings as captain off the pitch, but on the pitch, his performances have been second to none this season. I think he's been solid. He's dependable. He's focused, and you might take the captain's armband off him, but you can't stop him being a leader. That is natural, and I still feel that he is leading the team on that pitch alongside McGinn and alongside Martinez. Konza as well, after a bit of a shaky start, coming back early from injury. I feel like he's settled. I know he missed an absolute sitter against Leeds, but he filled in at right back, done a solid job there. So he's been very dependable as well. So, the defence have really been a foundation to build on the last few games. So I agree with your back four. I might have a couple of changes further up, but I agree with your back four.
I ain't making no changes.
No one else is fit at the back like
that. That's true, yeah.
We've got to mention clean sheet merchant in goal as well. Absolutely loves a clean sheet, doesn't he? So he's kept two in the last two games. So shout out to Martinez as well. Now, Justin, I'm not having Justin Tinkerman messing with this midfield either this week. So
I'd just like to throw a few little curveballs.
No, not this week. So in midfield, then it had a good game against Leeds, didn't it? I thought it was pretty strong, to be fair.
Yeah, Louise, we ummed and ahed last week, I think, whether he would bring Dendoncker in, who was supposedly the signing to back up Kamara in the 6. But then we did decide that it more likely was going to be Louise because of his standing in the squad, and he has played there a long time, hasn't he, for us? So it's something he's used to as well, playing there. Yeah, I think he's 100% going to go with the same three. The thing with Ramsey for me is he's almost trying to play him into form, and he sort of alluded to that today in his press conference that there's our sort of attacking players.
Yeah.
He's trying to he's saying that they're getting there now. They're slowly getting back to where we want them to be. And it's a lot of what I said last week. He's tinkered with it. It wasn't working, so he went back to square one. He's sorted the back line out now. We're very tough to play against. We don't concede goals very easily, especially in the last few games, considering we've played Man City within that period as well, and they score like 15 a game at the moment. So, we've done well there. So it's now going forward. He's got to try and sort it out, and he obviously doesn't. I don't think he's quite ready to start Dendoncker yet, by the sound of it. Otherwise, I think he would have started last week. So Louise, this contract standoff still sort of mulling around in the background. So I think it will go a long way to maybe helping him come around to signing the deal if he's playing regularly. McGinn, he still hasn't got back to his best, in my opinion. I think he's trying so hard. You can see in the way he runs around, and he's tackling, and he's so tenacious, and he wants it to work so badly. Obviously, his best mate when he was there, Jack, was captain. He saw how much he was loved, and I think he just wants that, doesn't he, from the Villa fans? And it's a shame because when he first signed in the first 18 months of John McGinn, he was a phenomenon. He was such a breath of fresh air coming down from Scotland. We didn't know a lot about him, and he was brilliant. His energy, his tenaciousness, the odd goal as well, and he's gone from strength to strength with his international with Scotland, but he's not quite replicated it with Villa, and it's so frustrating because there's a player in there. He just hasn't quite got it together. So I think with him and Ramsey, and Gerrard's reluctance to play anybody else really in that role, we're having to play players back into form, which isn't ideal really, because it puts a lot of pressure on them when it's pretty obvious from a fan's point of view. You're watching players that aren't at the top of their game, and a pass is going astray, or this happens and that happens, and you can almost see the frustration in their faces as much as it is frustrating for us to watch. You can see that they want to do better. They don't want to misplace passes. They don't want to miss chances. They want everything to be perfect. And I feel like I'm praying like that this is what's going to happen over the next 3 or 4 games, that the forward thinking players, so from McGinn and Ramsey forward, so them two in the front three, they're just going to start clicking now. And I don't think we could have a better game, if I'm brutally honest. I know we're throwing Forest under the bus because of what's happened to this season and where they are and what happened the weekend. I don't think we could have picked a better. If you could have picked a game, the only other game you could have picked was Forest at home. I think that you'd want to play and try and kickstart the season. We all saw what happened with Leicester last week, 6 without a win, and they play out the skin against Forest, and all of a sudden the Leicester fans are over the moon. They've won 1 in 7, and yet they're all like chuffed now because they can see a way out. And I'm not saying we're in as half a bad a position as Leicester are, but a good solid win on Monday, and I think we can turn the corner. And them 3, realistically, who else is there? There isn't really, is there? Then Donker, Sanson's not going to get a game anytime this millennium, I don't think so. Who else with the injuries we've carrying as well? I don't know. I think it's got to be them 3, hasn't it?
Yeah, I do too. And then we'll go with the front 3 then. So I think Coutinho keeps his place. I said he was simmering against Southampton, bubbled a little bit against Leeds, and I'm expecting prime Coutinho to turn up for this one because I think it's a game that he can really get on the ball and hurt Forest. Next to him, I think we were all chomping for Buendia to come in anyway. Bailey's got a little bit of a knock, so it looks like that's an easy decision for Gerrard to make anyway. And then I think firepower up front. I think, if he starts Watkins, what message does that send to Danny Ings? What message does that send to Cameron Archer that, the player that you're competing with missed however many chances, he can't finish anything at the minute, and you're still not good enough to come into the side. So I would say that would be the front 3 for me. And I just think we've just got to feed the ball to Danny Ings. Just feed it to him in the box, create chances. If he has 3 chances, he's going to bag 2 of them because he's that good of a finisher. But we just creatively need to give him the ball in the right areas. Ryan, would you say that's the strongest front 3 we can go with?
I think it's the front 3 I would pick. Do I think Gerrard will pick that front 3? I think he might start with Watkins. Watkins against Leeds, obviously he missed the chances, but his overall game was decent, I thought, leading the line, away from home.
But the thing is with him, Ryan, that is what every Villa fan would say is his game. His overall game, pressing, harassing, sort of like nicking the ball at times, that is really good. But at the end of the day, look at the position we're in. I don't think we can keep saying this anymore because
we need goals. we need that ball in the back of the net. Now we can all see we've stabilised. Now the mindset must change. It must change. We've got to go to Forest, so we can't be going there with the mentality like, we'll try and frustrate them and nick it. Nah, not for this game. Not for this game. I know we've tried to push the tactics on too much and given much freedom, but this time we've just got to ease that handbrake off a bit and really, really go and assert ourselves. That forward 3, I want to see patterns. I want to see like structured attacks. I want to see interchange. It's like the 3 of them are just up there on their own, playing off the cuff, hoping for a moment to happen, hoping just for something to happen. I don't feel like there's a plan in that final third of how they're going to play. There's no personality in that front 3. There's no... You can't even see like friendship relationships in that front 3. It just feels like they're all just doing their own thing. And I just really, really want it to come together. Yeah, these are talented, seasoned pros. We've got in that Coutinho, Buendia, Argentinian international, Leon Bailey. He's played on the biggest stage in Europe. He's an international. I want to be excited, man. We should be looking forward to seeing these players, knowing at this age, at this moment in their career, that they can deliver week in, week out, and it doesn't feel like they can at the minute. So I'm begging it to just come together against Forest. You're away from home. You haven't got the pressure of the home fans on your back. You can go there and just really let rip, man. Let rip, work together, man. Interchange, excite me, man. That's what I really want to see. Get that ball in the back of the net. So, And hopefully Ings is the man to finish, because if you do get him in the box, he can finish. You know, we said at pre-season how much we wanted to see Ings, and we all thought he was up for it, didn't we? We all thought he was firing, and we was excited to see him. And he scored that great goal against Everton, wasn't it? That got us up and running, first 3 points of the season. Then he's fluttered in and out. So with Ings, you got to feed him, man. You got to feed him. And if you can get him in that box and get him a sight at goal, half a sight at goal, he's going to finish. It's just a shame. Like, this Watkins and Ings debate has been going on for 18 months, hasn't it? And if you could just mould the two of them together, you'd have a world-class striker. Could do everything. But I think it's time to see Ings. Like you say, what message does it send to Ings? Ings might as well just wrap up if he don't get a start. He might as well, innit? Because you can't see your competition, your other striker that you're competing for a place, miss them chances and not get back and not get a shot in the team. You know, and what did you get, 7 minutes the other day? So,
the one word I'd say that you've picked up on really good is partnership. And I think part of the problem has been that front two behind the striker. It's never looked stable, has it? It's always been a Bailey or a Buendia. If Buendia doesn't play great, it'll be Bailey's back in, and there never is a partnership there. So, you know, the creativity of Coutinho and Buendia, it should work, but I think having Cash back will probably help, adding a little bit more width and, you know, being a little bit more dynamic. Obviously, we don't want it to be too gun-ho, because we know what happens when that does happen. We do end up looking slightly chaotic. So as long as it's sort of like refined and measured, and, you know, it's sort of, you go in at the right times, you know, you're aware of when you should go. I think that's going to be crucial as well. But
I just feel like they need a bit more support from the midfield three as well, that front three. I think I'd like to see, as my midfield three for this game, I'd like to see Dendoncker come in and play alongside Luiz as a double pivot. You know, not defensive. They can play as, you know, eights really. And then either McGinn or Ramsey pushed up a bit more. So you've still got that three in the middle. It's just shaped different, isn't it? And I just feel like Ramsey and McGinn, they're attacking players. The best we've seen of Ramsey this season is when he's attacking, he's dribbling. You see flashes of Jack Grealish, dare I say, in some of his play when he's attacking and he's drifting. But and McGinn as well. You see it for Scotland. Yes, the opposition is great, but, you know, he's still playing World Cup qualifiers and they're still getting Nation League qualifications better than England. So, yeah, and he's captaining that team. And, you know, everyone says, the pressure of captaining Aston Villa has got to his game, but it ain't got to his Scotland game. So I'm not buying that. So I just feel that they're restricted. I think that whole midfield three that we've picked there is restricted. Luiz is restricted in that six. Yes, we've got injuries, but he's still restricted. For his best play is the eight and passing and being that link in between. And I feel that McGinn and Ramsey, their best attributes is attacking. And I feel like them three have been very loyal. They've been very restricted. They've done a good job for us. They've done a real good job for us, because Steven Gerrard, is it out of choice because we haven't got the players in, and it's his system that, you know, they're not getting the best out of them. They're doing a job, and we're not playing to their strengths. And I just feel if you pick one or the other, just to be a bit more attacking, to drift into that number 10 with Coutinho and Buendia, I just feel that it would just give us that bit of extra dimension and just get a bit more out of them too.
I think also, I think when you're playing against a team that is in disarray like they are, and they're struggling, then that three, you could almost play, instead of playing 4, sort of 1, 2, you know, then 3, you can almost play 4-3-3. So play 3 centre midfielders, play 3 eights, because we're going to have a lot of the ball on Monday. We're going to hopefully dominate the ball. If we start well and even get a goal early, then I would say we're going to dominate the game, because that's just how Forest are at the moment. They're in. The only way that doesn't happen is if they get a goal quickly and the atmosphere just absolutely red hot, and all of a sudden we're under the cosh, because they're desperate for something to happen, aren't they? If we can just quieten the crowd, first 10, just get a goal within the first 20, and then that 3 can almost just interchange and play as a 3, plays 3 eights. we've said this a lot of times. You pick the team to play against. You pick the team to play against the team you're playing against. So we're not playing against Man City. We haven't got to be defensive. We can afford to go for it a bit on Monday. We can afford to really dictate the game. And to an extent, I feel a little bit sorry for Gerrard because he's got world-class players there that he puts out on the pitch week in, week out. And they're just, a lot of the time, they don't do themselves justice, do they? And so is that the manager's fault that he sees them all week in training? They're banging like we see on them clips. They're banging the ball. And Watkins, whenever you see clips on him, he's banging him in the top corner. He's finishing his sublime on them clips. So he puts him.
How long's that person been there?
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I ain't seen a little dink yet though.
So Gerrard is watching what in training. They're all outstanding, and he goes, right. I can't look at the players I've got here, and he's talking to his coaches. Look at the players we've got in this squad. We can't go wrong here. Pick the team, put them out on Saturday. Set them up right, and then he doesn't perform, and he's under par, and he's not playing that well, and he's missed 3 chances, and a pass that Coutinho does it in his sleep, blindfolded on the training pitch. All of a sudden, he gets intercepted. They've got to take some accountability, these players have. As much as Gerrard's getting stick, we've got top quality players at Villa. And they can't keep hiding behind, in my opinion, the manager's fault all the time. Because if the manager gets fired, whenever that could happen, and the new manager comes in, and it doesn't go right then, is it his fault then? It's not. The players have to take accountability, and they've got an absolutely unreal opportunity on Monday to put a marker down for the rest of the season and get confidence going. And then front three, if you're a Forest fan thinking we've just been spanked away, we've got a home game. Who we got? Oh shit, we've got Danny Ings, we've got Philippe Coutinho, we've got Emi Buendia rocking up at the City Ground on Monday. They're going to be worried about playing us because of the form they're in. So we should be going there thinking, let's go for it. Let's set them up and go for it.
Yeah, I feel like there does need to be a benchmark set, and that has got to be the standard, and it for the rest of the season.
I think the City game was that, to be fair, but I think that set the benchmark for defensively and being solid.
We need what I mean?
That was like
the next phase.
We are not going to be rolled over anymore. We're not going to concede a goal as soon as after we score. We're not going to concede stupid goals from set pieces and switch off at the back. The benchmark was set for the defensive side of the game. And now we've got to switch on that attacking mode.
I want to see like some identity now. I want to know what we're building to in attack, because I don't know what we're trying to do at the minute. So I think this is the ideal game for us to see it.
I think Monday I want to see
to be set.
Absolutely, I want to see ball retention. I want to see attacking phases of play where we go in and we come out, and if it's not working, we switch to play. And we're looking for through balls. I want to see Danny Ings in that penalty box. I don't want him to see him down either of the flanks. I want to see him live his life on the back of the last defender in that penalty box. And I want Coutinho and Buendia, if it's those two, I want them on the ball in the final third. I don't want them picking the ball up on the halfway line. I want them three pushing on there, and the midfield have got to. And the defence have got to make sure we're up all the time on the half when we're attacking, get them up on the halfway line, which pushes your midfield three forward, which allows your front three to do their damage where you need them to be in and around that penalty area.
Yeah.
Spot on.
There you go, Villa. We've said this is what we want to see.
Just play that in the dressing room before the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Right, we'll end it there then. That is our lineup. Get involved on our website and drop your teams on social media. Drop us a vote, Football Content Awards. Ryan, what's your score prediction? We've already had Justin's.
Oh, wow. I share an office with a Forest fan. Right. He loves Cooper, by the way. So I'm sort of in agreement with him. I feel like he should at least be given until the World Cup and the chance to turn it around. I think it's very much like when we got promoted, isn't it? And sort of we had Project Restart to sort of like, I think Dino might have been close to the bullet, but they held the nerve and he sorted it out. So I hope Cooper gets given the chance. But I do want to rock up to work on Tuesday morning with a 2-0 victory in the bag.
Not going for 5.
I won't be too greedy.
I've just got one more thing to say as well. I keep forgetting to say this. I'm doing the when this is going out Friday, Thursday. Yeah, I'm doing the sleep out, the big sleep out of Villa Park on Friday evening. So if anybody has got a couple of quid spare, it's not. I know things are tough at the moment, so don't worry if nobody has. But it's on the links on my Twitter profile on the pinned tweet. So yeah, it's good for a good cause. It's for the Villa Foundation for the kitchen that they do a lot of good work for. To be fair, so if you got a couple of quid, then it'd be very much appreciated.
Ryan, you need a shout out, don't you?
I need a shout out. Yeah, I need a shout out. There's a viewer that got in touch, John Longstaff. He completed the London Marathon. Excellent time. So I'm sure we'll drop his Just Giving link in the comment section. So yeah, magnificent achievement. 26 miles run. Love me now. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you.
Smashed it. So well done. So that's it. Vote for us. Voting closes on Sunday. Our next episode will be Fancam after the game. We'll try and get that out straight away after the game. And then we'll be back for match reactions and then straight on to Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea
at home. So it's going to be busy, the pod in October, because we've got, I think after Chelsea, we've got Fulham, Brentford, someone else.
Newcastle.
There's a lot of games in that period after Chelsea, so there'll be pods pretty much.
We've got Forest away, Chelsea at home, Fulham away, Brentford at home, and Newcastle away in October.
50 points.
Very busy.
Nice.
So it's going to be really busy. So we'll probably be doing a pod every day. So
we've got 16th of October, 20th of October, 23rd of October, and 29th of October. So it's really busy.
Yeah. So yes, we'll be here. Enjoy the content. Subscribe, like, get involved in the comment section, and let's just pray. Let's just pray we win that game on Monday, because I don't want to think about it if we don't. So, up the Villa. Let's get the 3 points.
Up the Villa.